What's going on, troops? For today's Rock Fills That Rule, we're gonna make a slight departure and check out kind of a groove fill from who better than the red hot groove machine who, as rumor has it, eats his drums for breakfast. Yes, Mr. Chad Smith. Also, you're going to want to download the PDF for this lesson because the rhythms we're going to be covering and studying will be a lot more helpful to understand if you can actually see it. Okay, so hit the link, download it, and let's get into this. So the fill that we are going to dissect and learn today is from the Red Hot Chili Peppers cover of the classic Stevie Wonder song Higher Ground off their Mother's Milk record. This was Chad's first recording with the band, actually. And I remember hearing a really cool story about the late, great, legendary Jeff Porcaro recording next door to where they were recording this. And he came in and he was listening to the tracks and actually said to Chad, man, you should be doing my sessions, because he was so impressed with Chad's feel and groove and his approach to the music. And I mean, that's quite a compliment coming from the groove master general, Jeff Porcaro. So, but Chad's drumming on this record is on fire. It's awesome. Just the youthful energy is all over, and especially in this fill that we're going to study. So let's get after it. So this fill happens at the end of the first chorus, and it's a 2-bar fill, with the first bar not necessarily really being a fill per se, but its rhythmic syncopation really helps set up the fill that happens in the second bar, and you'll totally understand this once we get into it. So the first thing we have to do is get comfortable playing quarter note triplets on the hi-hat while we groove. And this can easily be achieved by just playing hand-to-hand triplets on the snare, but accenting 2 and 4, playing quarter notes on the kick. We've done this 1,000 times, but we need to start here first. So play along with me. Let's check it out.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3.
Now we're just going to do the same thing, but we're going to move our right hand over to the hi-hat.
3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3.
Now just play the same thing, but only play beats 2 and 4 with your left hand on the snare drum. Nothing else. We're going to take out all those ghost notes. When we do this, this is going to be our first quarter note triplet groove, and it's a quarter note triplet because we're playing every other 8th note triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. All right? So this groove is actually 1A on your PDF.
3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3.
Now, if we did the same thing with our basic snare and kick pattern, but rather than moving the right hand to the hi-hat, we're going to move the left hand to the hi-hat while still coming down for 2 and 4 on the snare, we would have something like this.
2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. So
this hi-hat pattern is still playing quarter note triplets, even though it sounds totally different. The reason why is because we're starting the pattern now on the second triplet of beat 1, and that gives it this really cool square type of feel. I actually like to call these displaced quarter note triplets just because it's nice for me to have a distinction, and it's easier for me to teach and explain it that way. So, but now let's try that same hi-hat pattern, but we're going to play that with the right hand, and then left hand is just going to play 2 and 4. All right, this is 1B.
2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Now that's a pretty dang cool groove, I must say. I love it. It's actually, I don't know if you recognize it or not, it's the main groove from that classic Tears for Fears song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Love that song, but in my opinion, this feel, that hi-hat pattern, really makes the entire song. I mean, that's just me. But anyway, let's get into this Chad Smith fill. It's basically, we're going to do the first measure, the first bar, and he plays that exact same groove, but he just adds 2 more snares, and they fall on the last triplet of beat 2 and the last triplet of beat 4. Let's check it out. This is 2A.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Now the second half or second bar of this fill, Chad really continues this displaced quarter note triplet pulse. He only adds really just the middle triplet note to beat 2, but everything else, it's just these really cool displaced quarter note triplets, and he's playing them mostly in unison on the snare and floor tom,
1,
like
2,
this.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cool, now let's put it all together. This is 2A and
1, 2,
2B.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
Now for the rest of the song, Chad uses variations of this displaced quarter note triplet idea all the time. It's always at the end of the choruses, and every single time he varies it up a little bit. You can tell he's got a really strong sense of this rhythm. He's really comfortable with it, and that's what we want to achieve. So to get that same kind of comfort, let's just practice these displaced quarter note triplets just as a basic fill. All right, so this is 3A.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Now for another option that creates some pretty cool syncopation and kind of helps ground the fill as well is just playing quarter notes on the bass drum. This in of itself is going to help outline the time a little bit more, but it might give us a little bit more freedom and confidence to play these quarter note triplets around the kit a bit. So let's jam on this. This is 3B.
1, 2.
as always, if you got some value from this lesson and you want to see more of this type of content, can you please like, share, subscribe? That'll really help me produce more of these types of lessons, and ultimately, it'll just make my ego feel really, really good. All right, kind of a different rock fills that rule lesson, but I hope it broadened your perspective on really what's possible with triplet-based fills. I know triplets can sometimes be kind of a weakness for rock or contemporary drummers, but like anything, we talk about this all the time. Once you understand the basic rhythmic foundations, you can create just about anything. And that's really what I hope this lesson on these displaced quarter note triplets will really give you, just a stronger foundation, a bigger vocabulary. All right, so thank you again for watching. Super appreciate it. Until next time, what are we doing? Staying focused, practicing with purpose. We'll see you soon.